In our technology report, changemakers in Africa are not presidents and policymakers, but ordinary men and women who do extraordinary things to create change in their communities using art, skills, voices, and technology. The Awake Youth Initiative in Kenya is working to empower young people to become changemakers. Africa 54 technology correspondent Paul Ndiho spoke to Meshack Otieno, founder and CEO of Kenya-based Awake.
Welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you for having me, Paul.
You are a young man on a mission trying to empower a lot of young people across Kenya. Tell us about some of the initiatives that you are leading or you are working on.
Passionate about leadership and young people, I started Awake Youth Initiative. And just even more than that, Africa's future progress or lack of it is extremely linked to what is happening in Africa's higher learning institution, it is presumed. 10% of young people in sub-Saharan Africa are tapped into these universities. This percentage is so small, and they are believed to be the next leaders, the next engineers, the next professionals in the education space, in the health sector and in the private sector. But then what happens to the 90% of the untapped youth population in Africa? Will they grow up to be leaders, to be transformative in their communities, to be ethical change makers, to tailor solutions that promote, sustainable communities? So it is with this motivation and part of my story that we set out to start Awake Youth Initiative in 2015 with the vision of transforming youth livelihood and leadership in underserved communities. So our number one program at Awake is Awake Lead Young. This is a 5-month leadership and entrepreneurship program that focuses on raising young change makers with the skills of leadership, empathy, teamwork, and change making.
There are people who have made this argument and they seem to suggest that what's lacking on the continent is not the human capital or the skills, but we have a leadership crisis. We have leaders who have been around for a long time. Some of them don't want to go anywhere to give room for young people. We also have leaders who are not visionary. We have leaders who just worry about their stomach and their families rather than worrying about the concerns of young people. From your vantage point, you interact with a lot of young people. Does that make sense?
The difference between that narrative and the now narrative is that this generation of young leaders, they are woke. They actually are learning from what the previous leadership has given. And so they are changing, they are coming up with new style of leadership, what in our context now we call new leadership. So they are intentionally and more passionately working towards transforming their communities ethically. And so there is, yes, totally a new breed of leadership that is being brought out by this young generation, having learned from what has happened in the previous leadership.
There are people who also argue that social media in tandem with the changing demographics has given young people the opportunity to do what they really have to do. In your particular case, you interact with a lot of them. How has social media or the advent of the internet or technology played a role?
Young people, even for our work at Awake, social media plays a steering role in ensuring that we implement our intervention, from having our mentorships online, and some of our virtual trainings online, connecting with mentors across the world, digitally. And so digital has played a very crucial part in ensuring that our intervention, meets its goal. But also in the case of young people are very influential on the social media spaces. And they use these as a tool to really rally around people for change. And so whether they are in the tech space, innovating apps from what I've seen our Changemakers do, or they are in the social media spaces, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, actively engaging in activism spaces for women, for other communities, marginalized communities, and all that. Social media has played a steering role in supporting the initiatives and the ventures of young people, not just in Africa, but globally.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Paul.
That was Africa 54's Paul Ndiho speaking to Meshack Otieno, founder and CEO of Awake. And that's our show for today. Be sure to watch Africa 54 on our website at voaafrica.com. From all of us here in Washington, thanks for watching.